In the world of AI, for a long time, the conversation has been all about one thing: size. Who's got the biggest, most powerful general model? But here's the thing: the real competitive advantage, the kind that creates lasting value, isn't about being a jack of all trades, it's about creating a master of one. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a process called fine-tuning and show you why it's not just a technical detail, it's a core business strategy that helps separate the real contenders from the pretenders.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the problem with these general, off-the-shelf AIs. Then, we'll get into the solution, creating specialists. We'll look at the two main strategic paths a company can take to get there. After that, we'll dive into the efficiency revolution that's making this cheaper and faster than ever. And we'll wrap it all up with a practical playbook, the key questions you should be asking. So, let's start with this core problem. The best way to think about a base model, a GPT-4 or something similar, is to imagine a brilliant, fresh-out-of-college grad. They're incredibly smart. They've read basically the entire internet. They can hold a conversation about anything. But what happens when you drop that brilliant grad into a hyper-specialized job, like a financial analyst or a corporate lawyer? They don't have the on-the-job training. They don't have the chops yet. All that potential isn't really useful on day one.
And the reason is pretty simple. Their university education, that whole pre-training phase, was based on, well, everything. It's incredibly broad. So they learn the patterns of human language, sure, but they didn't learn your company's language. They don't get the specific jargon, the hidden nuances, the workflows that make your business run. So for really valuable tasks, like analyzing financial filings or drafting contracts in a specific style, that general knowledge just doesn't cut it.
Okay, so how do we fix that? How do we take that brilliant but green graduate and turn them into an absolute rock star for your company? Well, that's where a process called fine-tuning comes in. This is the magic step, really. It's the bridge that takes an AI from raw, general potential to specialized, high-impact performance.
So what is fine-tuning exactly? At its core, you're taking all that knowledge the model already has and you're sharpening it, laser-focusing it on a smaller, very specific set of your own data. This is so important because you get incredible performance on the tasks you care about, but with way less data and at a fraction of the cost of building a model from scratch. You're not sending them back to college, you're just giving them that crucial, focused, on-the-job training. And this table really just lays out the business case in black and white. Look at the two metrics that matter most to any investor: cost and duration. Pre-training, that's the university phase. It's a massive capital sink. We're talking months and millions, if not more. But then look to the right. Fine-tuning? It's a whole different ballgame. Cheaper, faster. This is the moment AI stops being a crazy expensive science project and starts becoming a smart, targeted business investment.
So, the bottom line for anyone looking at a company's AI strategy is this: fine-tuning is how they build a competitive moat. It's how they create an AI that becomes a unique, defensible asset because it deeply understands their specific language, their customers, their internal processes. A fine-tuned model for a bank will run circles around a general model every single time, and that creates a real, tangible edge.
All right, so let's say a company is sold. They want to create an AI specialist. Well, now they hit a major fork in the road. It's a critical strategic choice with huge implications for both cost and performance. And the question is basically this: do you teach your AI a brand new skill, or do you just give it a key to the company library and let it look things up?
And these are the two paths. On one side, you have RAG. Think of this as the company library approach. You're not changing the AI itself, you're just connecting it to your documents so it can retrieve information. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's perfect for when the AI needs to know things that change all the time, like the latest product specs. Then on the other side, you have fine-tuning. This is the on-the-job training. Here, you're actually changing the model's internal wiring. You're teaching it how to act, how to write in a specific voice, how to reason through a problem your way.
So the decision framework here is actually pretty simple. If the task is about knowing what, especially what's new, RAG is usually the smart, efficient choice. But if the task is about knowing how to behave, how to write, how to analyze, then fine-tuning is absolutely essential. Now, the most sophisticated companies, the ones you really want to pay attention to, they're often doing both. They're using a hybrid approach to get the best of both worlds.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This fine-tuning thing sounds powerful, but it still sounds expensive, like something only the biggest tech companies can afford. And you know what? A few years ago, you'd have been right. But there's been an absolute revolution in efficiency that has completely changed the economics of this. And this is where the ROI story gets really exciting for investors.
It's all thanks to a bucket of techniques called parameter efficient fine-tuning, or PEFT for short. And PEFT is a total game changer. Instead of trying to update all billion-plus parameters in a model, which is slow and expensive, PEFT methods are smart. They intelligently find and update only a tiny, tiny fraction of them, often less than 1%. It is the absolute definition of working smarter, not harder.
Here's an easy way to picture how one of the most popular PEFT methods, LoRa, works. Imagine the AI model is a massive 1,000-page textbook. The old way of fine-tuning was like rewriting the entire book just to add a new chapter. LoRa, instead, just adds a few super efficient sticky notes. It freezes the original textbook, leaves it untouched, and only trains the new information on those little notes. You get almost the same result, but with a tiny fraction of the cost, time, and compute power.
And the impact of these techniques is just staggering. A more advanced method, called QLoRa, reduces the amount of memory needed for this process by a factor of 18. 18! It takes the memory needed per parameter from 96 bits all the way down to just 5.2.
Let that sink in for a second. What this means, in plain English, is that a process that used to require a data center full of specialized hardware can now be done on a single, high-end GPU that you can basically buy off the shelf. In business terms, the barrier to entry for creating custom, world-class AI has effectively collapsed. This is no longer just a playground for big tech. It is open season for innovative companies of any size.
So, this is all great, but how do you actually apply it? How do you turn this technical understanding into a sharp tool for investment analysis? The next time you're sitting across from a CEO who's pitching you their amazing AI, here are the critical questions you need to ask to cut right through the hype.
First up, always ask, what is your data strategy? An AI model is only as good as the data it learns from. You need to know about the quality, the relevance, the size, but the killer question is, do you have a proprietary data asset? Because a unique data set that competitors can't easily get their hands on, that is a powerful, defensible moat. It's often the most valuable part of the whole strategy.
Next, you want to test their strategic depth. Ask them, are you using RAG, fine-tuning, or a hybrid? And why did you make that choice? This tells you so much. Their answer reveals whether they understand the massive trade-offs in cost, scalability, and performance. A great answer isn't just what they chose, but a smart justification that shows they have real business and technical savvy.
Question 3 is all about capital efficiency. Ask them directly, how are you managing compute costs? Are you leveraging parameter-efficient methods like LoRa? A yes here is a massive green flag. It tells you they're not just burning cash on huge server bills. It means they can scale their AI development sustainably, and that's a sign of a company built for the long haul.
And finally, you have to ask about risk management. An AI model that goes rogue is a huge liability. You need to ask, how do you ensure your model is reliable and stays on brand? Listen for specific techniques like direct preference optimization or DPO. It's a sophisticated method for aligning a model's behavior with business goals. A thoughtful answer here signals a mature, responsible approach to building AI.
Because really, the crucial point is this. The whole AI arms race is shifting right under our feet. It's moving away from this brute force contest to build the biggest generalist model. The new competition, the one that really matters, is a much more strategic race to create targeted, efficient, high-value specialists that solve actual business problems.
So that's the key takeaway I want to leave you with. True differentiation in the world of AI doesn't come from scale alone anymore. It comes from strategic specialization. And in this new landscape, understanding the nuances of fine-tuning isn't just a nice-to-have. It's the essential tool you need to separate the short-term hype from the companies building real, durable, long-term value.